So, Tigran, you see a lot of rugs daily coming in. When clients send us the rugs, uh, they pretty much go through you for you to put together the proposal, what we call the a la carte menu, right? When the client calls in, they say, I have a rug to clean, but every rug gets inspected. Walk us through the process.
So we get the call, and nowadays there is email too, which you go back and forth. But I prefer the call, and I think most of the clients prefer the call, unless they're very busy, and we do it through email. But they sometimes give me the size, and I would just warm them up by giving them the pricing, and then we arrange to pick up. The rugs get here, and we each of them have a tag with the order number. And so we open up, photograph the rugs, inspect them, look at the edges, look at the surface of the rug, the back, make sure that they're not infested. They don't have carpet beetles. What is the damage, if there is any? Is there a stain? Again, all those things are noted in the condition of the rug. And then accordingly, they're itemized and priced. And of course, there is sometimes so much damage that maybe we just say the rug needs to be, if there is a mold damage, needs to be washed first and demoted before we can give an estimate.
Save your thoughts. So, how often does that happen where there's no mention of any infestation or moth or beetles, and you open up the rug during the inspection process and you're like, uh-oh.
Weekly. Yeah.
Wow.
There are days that we get 3-4 different clients from different places that come in with that kind of a damage.
And that's rather scary to us because we have a very large facility full of rugs that can be
other people's rugs.
Yeah, it's not inventory.
So
cross-contamination, and we have a big problem.
Right away, after they're inspected, they get sprayed to kill or put in a freezer, which if they fit in a freezer.
Yeah, so I don't think we've ever really talked about the freezer. Tell our audience about our freezer.
There's a freezer, which is a certain size. If we can fold the rugs, if the rugs are small enough, we put it in a freezer for 2 weeks, and that'll do away with the mold.
So we spray the moth repellent or the moth spray, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we roll up the rugs and put them in the freezer.
Or without spraying the moth repellent. If we put it in the freezer, it'll work.
I like both. I prefer both, but I think the freezer itself could get the job done. But
right.
The key thing here is nothing is left untreated. We treat everything before.
Also, after the rugs are looked at, the floors are cleaned, wiped, swept, and vacuumed before the next customer's rug is put on.
Have you ever had an experience with a client where you've said, your rug has moth, and they said, no, it doesn't. I didn't see any. What are you talking about?
They didn't accuse us, but they were surprised. And they usually ask why this happened. And usually that happens because there's a piece of furniture on the rug, and they can't reach it to vacuum it. And also, there was a lot of mold damage during the COVID, because people left their homes and they went to their country homes for a while. And then when they returned, there were not much vacuuming was going on. There was not much going on, and moths were able to thrive.
Yeah. Is there a specific season that they thrive, or?
No, that I'm aware of. But usually when they're in larvae stage, they do the damage. When they're flying, they're not doing any damage.
Yeah.
Preventing is hard because preventing is hard because you can't spray something toxic on a rug and pretend that it's good for the humans while they're using it.
Yeah.
So there is no agent that I know of that you can put on a rug to prevent it. Also, even if we get rid of the moth on the rugs and we return the rugs to the client's house, there is no guarantee that they're not going to have more infestation happening, because it's possible that they have infestation in their closets, in their stuffing of the furniture,
Yeah.
and other areas, and that client has to be able to get somebody to take care of that.
Yeah, we've actually done that a little bit. We don't really promote it,
Mhm.
but we have clients of ours who only want to work with us. So, we've tried to redirect some clients and say, oh, go, use a
M&M, whatever.
yeah, some, whoever's out there in the city that does this type of work. But some are just very persistent, and they're like, no, like I want you to come in. Yeah, clients of ours have asked us to come in and apply, let's call it an insecticide that we have here
On their carpets.
on the carpets and on the furniture. So
Okay.
when we pick up the rugs that we know of an infestation, we let them know that, listen, you have to take care of the house, because if we bring back the rugs, you're going to have the same problem again. And so that's when they've requested us to step in and to apply an insecticide to eradicate the moth issue, because that's the only real way you can kind of guarantee that it's not going to come back.
Right.
Either that or freeze the apartment, right? But no, so you can't freeze the apartment. So we will go in, apply the insecticide, wait for a response from the client. All right, it looks like it's all good. No
And
more
then go
larvae.
clean it.
It's all cleaned away. Everything's gone. And then we will deliver and install the repaired rugs, because just imagine, a client spends $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. We take the rugs back, and then a month later, it's ruined again.
They have the same
Yeah, it's
problem.
not a good feel. We don't want that. We don't. So we want to make sure that the infestation in the house is all taken care of, so that when we deliver and spread a rug, a repaired rug, nothing's going to happen, and they're going to be able to enjoy the rug. When I started with the company, you were doing the inspection. Well, I remember my first day, I sat with you in the warehouse,
Hot warehouse.
checking in rugs, and everything was done on paper.
Right.
You guys
With
had
forms.
You had a form, the inspection report, customer name, rug type,
Right. Condition check,
report,
like whatever.
Moth damage,
And then the repair.
fringes,
Right.
binding, and then there was an area for comments.
And then you would give it to somebody to process it into a program.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the program. It was before.
It was 4 programs ago.
Yeah. And the photographs were taken by camera, and then the disc would come. We would take the disc, a floppy disk, to the office. So now that we talk about it, we've come a long way.
Right. It's amazing now.
So tell me a little bit about the technology aspect.
Well, basically, we're taking photos with our phones, whoever is taking it.
Yeah.
And they're taking X amount of photos of making sure it's the face of the rug, the damaged areas, the corners, under the rug, and then a tag that just proves that it's whoever rug it is with the order number. And that is becomes a part of the link, basically a website that is created for the rug. So our one program is linked to the other, and once you process your the repairs and size and condition is entered, it would be on the link that you can just click on it and send it to the client, who will open it up and approve and paid. There's a approve and decline options, and It's kind of easy for the clients, even though for people who say, I don't do computers.
Yeah, much easier. I mean, I remember when I came in, we were still faxing, right? We were, but that was not to everyone. A big portion of proposals had to go out by the mail.
That's right.
So we would mail a proposal to an older client who wasn't so computer savvy
Or had a fax.
Which was the majority of them.
Yeah.
And wait, let's call it 3-4 days to a week for them to receive it, review it, call in with any questions, and then send back the signed approval with a check.
The impatient ones would call and give me the credit card number, but then I had to tell them to send something in writing so I have a proof that they actually approved the work.
So a process, let's call it 20, 30 years ago, that took 2 weeks, can now be done in minutes.
Yes.
We send out a web link, and everyone has it at their phone.
Or a computer.
Or their computer. And click yes, yes, yes. Type in you have your credit card number saved on your phone or your computer, and voila, done.
Submit, and we just receive it, and work is right away. Dated. We just put the data. We actually ask the date for the client to put in there too, if that's physically possible to do.
And then we just push it into production on our end. So, technology or let's call it AI today has definitely helped our business. One person might argue like, well, rug cleaning, what do you mean? Like how would AI or technology help rug cleaning? Well, we're living examples.
Well, it speeds up and speeds up the service and makes it very convenient for the clients.
Yeah, it's better.
Definitely, and for us,
and quicker. Turnarounds are quicker.
Right.
AI is not going to replace someone who's actually reweaving your rugs.
No, but
the process,
it has its own place.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah,
and it's helping, and we're adapting, and we'll continue to adapt.
Can't wait to see what else is next, as far as the technology goes.
Well, we talked about going to London, right? And then followed by technology.
Castilian London.
And then we'll see what the technology, as long as there's new technology and we continue to learn about it and adapt, we're going to look to always better.
I think it's one
ourselves.
of the strengths of our company that we didn't just fall behind when there was something new happening. We were always grabbing it.
Look, we have many friends in the industry, and a lot of our friends who we have a lot of respect for, they're still doing things with 3-ply paper.
I know.
And
files.
It's difficult. It's difficult. So, accessing clients, pictures, rugs, information at your fingertips.
Yeah.
It just streamlines the process, and having a streamlined process is good for any business.
That's right. That helps. Clients are very happy when you get back to them right away, and you give them the answer right away.
So how do you handle a complaint? So you do a repair, you do the restoration, you do the cleaning, we deliver the rug, and the missus calls and says, Tigran, I've been working with you for the last 30 years. I've been a client of Castilian's for 60, and I'm just not happy with the way this rug turned out. I'm not loving it. We spend a lot of time and money. I dropped this rug off to you before I went to Europe for the summer, and I'm back. It's September 15th, and I don't love the way the rug looks. How do you handle that situation?
Well, first of all, you ask what parts. She has to be a little specific about what looks bad. Is this the pile? Is this the binding? The color of the wool itself? And once we know these things, we, of course, ask the client if we can have the rug back to correct the situation.
And are they?
There's never an argument, by the way. If you start arguing with the client,
Yeah.
even if it's not a 30-year-old old client, that even if it's a new client, you just don't argue. You actually bring the rug back here. We have to take that. What can we do? We have to. But then this what makes things for the future.
So it takes a second
better.
attempt.
Right.
And after the second attempt, what is the likelihood of making sure that you're successful and they're happy?
Even if the client is not 100% happy, they will accept it because they see what kind of an effort was put in
They appreciate
to correct
the
the
effort.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
And for them, that's more important than a 100%
Yeah.
rug coming back sometimes.
Yeah, it could be difficult with the expectation, right? You know, the expectation that a client has of what their rug might turn out to look like when it comes
Right.
out.
Well, that's a great point. You have to describe what are you talking about when you are writing down a proposal. You cannot say it's going to be a 100% match because it can't be.
Yeah, I don't think we ever do that. I
Yeah,
mean, like
we always say
the highest
will
I've
not-
seen you put is 80%.
80% for stains.
Yeah.
As far as the restoration of repairs, we always mention that texture of the wool cannot be matched to the texture of the wool that is from 1870s. But we will try. But you will always see a difference in a repair. But there would be a pile where there was a hole. There wouldn't be. So all those things need to be addressed prior to client approving the work. Should be told. You cannot just sell the job to just get the job. You have to make it right, for everybody. So there's no surprises.
Yeah, part of it is really setting the expectations, because if we rely on the client's perception,
Right.
We open ourselves to failure.
That's right.
Because they might be expecting something that is unachievable.
Right.
But when we communicate and over-communicate and share photographs and specific language on a proposal, it helps pave the way.
That's right.
This is what you're going to get. This is what it's going to look like. And their expectations are set at a very high level that we will achieve. But it's important to know that if a client's unhappy, we will come back. We will pick up the rugs. We will reattempt. And quite frankly, we will reattempt as many times until they're happy.
Honestly, I have done maybe 3 times,
Yeah.
taken back and forth. And after all that, sent somebody
to the house.
To the house so she can just put her finger,
Yeah.
what is the problem?
Because after 2 attempts, you're like, well, we tried twice. Well, what is it? We're going to bring it back. We want you to show us what it is that you'd like to have done.
Whatever it takes to satisfy people, in a reasonable way.
I love that. I love that. And on that note, we will end it. Whatever it takes to satisfy the clients.
That should be a T-shirt on Edinijklian.